Check your booty.
Check your booty.
Ow. Check. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Check. Check your booty.
No, we don't want to be stupid.
No, we don't.
I believe all emotional and psychological disorders can be cured with Vicks Vapor Rub.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. It's crunchy on the outside and creamy in the center. Here are your hosts, Mike and Darin.
Hey, I'm Darin.
I'm Mike.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. This is episode 113.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm in a mood.
You know
I'm
what?
in a mood.
I'm kind of in a mood today, too.
Yeah.
Today on the podcast, I'm going to talk about one company that gets an A+, absolute A+, 5 stars.
Better than an A.
A smiley face.
Top marks. Gold star.
The gold star in customer service. And then I have another company that gets an F in their customer service.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how much I love to talk about customer service.
I know you do.
Yes.
You talk about it all the time.
I do. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm just kind of in a pissy mood.
Yeah.
Energy levels are all screwed up. I've been eating healthy
Yeah.
all week. And I've been drinking an offensive amount of water.
Okay.
Like a really offensive amount of water.
Yeah.
I've been really only water and Monster drinks and coffee.
Then you should be fine.
All I've been drinking. I had a beer at the thing with the Hugheses.
Right.
And then other than that, Monster drinks, coffee, and water. But mostly a ratio of 90% water, 5%
Well, coffee is all water
5%.
anyway.
Yeah, but it's got some drugs in there.
It does.
So I've developed habits where I have to get my coffee. It has to be a large coffee with an espresso shot when I'm on the way in the morning.
Right.
And I get a donut because you. I work out and I don't eat hardly anything for dinner. And I sometimes I do well at lunch. But I'm like, I can burn off a donut. I'm 48 years old. I can have a donut.
You know, if you're having a donut in the morning, you've got all day to work that off.
And that's how stupid I am. I'm not 48. I'm 47.
Right.
So there's that going on. But anyway, my body is having problems with the fact that I am drinking this much water. And I don't know how to handle it. So anyway, I do that, and then I have to have a Monster drink in the middle of the day. I know it's bad for me.
Right.
I've seen all the little TikTok videos of the physician and pointing at the tummy and like, this is
the tummy
adding all kinds of up alien chemicals to your body, and your spleen is going to throttle, and your lungs are going to fill with freaking milk.
Right. I have a friend who had his appendix removed, and then he drank so many Monster drinks, it grew back. It grew back.
They're good.
I know, right?
So I do them. And if I don't do them, I get a headache. And if I do too many, which I'm doing right now currently, I'm drinking a Monster drink.
Yeah.
But it's because I'm in a mood.
Yeah.
And we got this thing to do. We decided to do this thing.
And
I love this thing. It puts me in a good mood.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to enjoy it. And the only way I can enjoy it is with this drug.
Yeah.
A lot of people, Elvis had to, whatever he did, pills.
He did what he had to do.
Jim Morrison did his thing.
Also, yeah.
Hendrix drank so much that he,
Karen Carpenter. Yeah, they all. Yeah.
Yeah, Mama Cass ate the broccoli. This is what I do. And if the doctor says, hey, you're going to have to cut back on the Monsters, then I could probably do that. I could probably cut back on it. I'll be an asshole for a couple of weeks, but I can do that.
I would notice no difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, people, we're happy that you're here. This is 113. This is, if you remember, last week was the first time we had guests in studio with us. Yeah. Chris Hughes and his girlfriend, Lisa, now fiance.
Yeah.
They got engaged on the show. And
she was really nice.
She was really nice. Yeah. I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's like she just stopped looking. I don't get it. I mean,
I'm going to say it. Because if you'll remember, and I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. I hugged Chris Hughes.
I know you did.
When I saw him.
I did too.
I was excited.
Yeah.
And
he's a nice guy.
He's a warm, friendly person.
You would never think
on
the surface he's a psychopath.
I don't know why he likes us.
I don't know either.
I always anticipated that our audience would be full of assholes, like just like us.
Yeah,
like There's two. We're like a spectrum. We go back and forth. Like when I get
we ebb and we flow.
Yeah, and I've been listening to our recent episodes. I've noticed some things about us. I don't interact with you very much on the show.
No.
You say
At
funny.
all.
Like I hear you. I'm not hearing you right now. I will hear this conversation next week.
And then you're like, Darin was pretty funny.
2 weeks from now, I'll be, I've laughed out loud in my car. Listen to you. I'm like, man, I wish I would have laughed at that. That was a funny thing. And I don't. Whereas you laugh your ass off, even if I look the wrong way. Like nothing's happening. You just start giggling.
I know.
And I think it makes for a pretty good
I think we got a good thing going on here. But yeah, Chris and Lisa were up here and they came by and oh my goodness, they took us out to dinner. Okay.
Yeah, what the hell?
A lovely dinner. They treated for dinner. We went to Matt the Miller's. Everybody had the steak and the lobster and a salad and coffee, and then there was pie involved. The pie and the
banana
coffee. Pie. And they must have spent $2,000, $3,000, I don't know, because I mean the whole gang came and we all brought our wives.
Yeah.
And they could not have been nicer.
Yeah.
And so honestly, Chris, Lisa, thank you so much for your kindness. We don't know why you like us, but you do, and we're going to take that and we're going to just be good with that. We got invited to their wedding reception.
We did.
Yeah.
It wasn't until they were here for a few minutes.
Busy.
Yeah. And I got to send I might post a picture of this. I'm going to post a picture of their view while they were here, because everybody sees me and my buddy here, and they see you and Obi-Wan Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
But nobody sees it looks like we're summoning a demon over here. And Chris Hughes is
just
facing
a tool banner.
It is, but they had to make it red and black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. And you got the guy with his face coming off over here.
I
would take a quick break. James Nungusser, Stump, and that's Lisa. They're in the chat.
Hey.
So hell yeah, man.
Hey.
We're gonna have James. I don't know. James. Okay, so when I was in school,
do not call him the wrong name.
When we hung out,
mess with him.
We hung out when we were little kids.
Okay,
he was Jimmy.
But
the dude looks like he could strangle a grizzly bear with it like a pinky now. Yeah. And I don't call
pinky.
Guys like that Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
You know what I mean?
Jimmy.
So we have to iron that out, but I'm going to send him some dates of when we can do this. So Jimmy, or James, Jesus.
Jimmy
James.
At some point. I'm going to call him Jimmy James, like a dude on news radio.
We'll have you on and we'll make you part of the show. It'll be fun.
Yeah. This portion of our show is brought to you by the Nash Rambler, the new idea car for America's fast-moving, far-traveling family. Rambler has the tightest turning radius of any small car, and Rambler steps away from traffic with lightning ease. The new Nash Rambler from AMC, another reason why AMC means more for Americans.
Speaking of fans of the show, last week you threw a fit. You're bitching because we have a new Patreon, a new patron. Courtney Linton Ergen. Go ahead and mispronounce her name.
Eowyn.
She laughs her ass off, thinks that's hilarious. And she sent a message saying, "We like Mike." Okay? We like Mike. Because you're like, I go and she's like a friend of yours, and now I know she doesn't like me, and it's like if I ever met her, she wouldn't hug me.
It's not,
if we were out and she had ice cream and I didn't have ice cream, she wouldn't let me have any of my ice cream, but she'd let you have some ice cream. She likes you. Okay?
First of all, I don't share ice cream with anybody.
Well, she would have shared ice cream with you.
I wouldn't accept it.
Trust me. You would have shared ice cream with Courtney. Trust me.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Because I listened to that episode today, and I want to make sure that everyone's clear on what I meant.
Right.
It's not that I get upset when it's a friend of yours or a friend of mine. It's just that I get more excited when it's somebody we don't know because we've reached somebody.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Like Jeremy Parker.
Yeah. Jeremy Parker.
I put a call out for people to review, say something about the show. By the way, guys, get out, spread the word about the show, review it on Apple Podcasts. Get on up and
get on the scene.
Review it on Spotify. You can review it right there on Facebook. You can put a review. Every time you put a review, it ratchets us up and it makes us more visible. It doesn't get us excited. I mean, it does get us excited, but we get more exposure.
Okay, I don't want the reviews for the exposure. Okay. I really don't.
Yeah.
That's icing on the cake. That's what the kids say today.
Yeah.
It's icing on the cake.
Yeah.
I want a review so that I can hear if we're doing something right.
Yeah.
If people are enjoying what we're doing, then we can keep doing it. Chris Hughes absolutely loves the Kroger Story of the Week. You and I are like almost sick of doing the Kroger Story of the Week. We're going to keep doing the Kroger Story of the Week because that's what the fans want.
Do they have Kroger's on the planet where he's from?
Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah. They also have there's a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of grocery stores down there called Food City, which we nicknamed Food. Yeah. Very nice grocery store, very clean, good prices. Yeah. Okay. I used to shop there when I lived in Johnson City. Yeah. So, but you mentioned Jeremy Parker. Jeremy Parker said, "Dear Irritable Dad Syndrome, I really enjoy your shows. Thanks for keeping me awake and alert while driving for work. It really does help my day."
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Jeremy, thank you. And then we reached out and said, "Thank you so much. It really does help to know that you're out there enjoying the show. Hey, how did you hear about us?" And he said that he was searching for dad podcasts.
He was in prison.
Exactly.
And there was a guy.
That the next cell over.
Was listening to us.
You know, they were both in there for a crime they did not commit. I want to make sure people know that. Wrongfully convicted.
Yeah.
Thanks to DNA and the miracle of Andrew Jackson Gibbons, they're out. Free men. I searched for dad podcasts. I wish I remember which episode was the first one I listened to, but you guys stuck. I feel like I'm listening to me and my old buddies talking. And then he said, out of curiosity, what's the deal with Chris Hughes? We don't know. But Jeremy, we are thrilled that you're listening, and thank you so much for your support. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Darin. You could edit that part.
That out.
No, I was the kid. Apparently, my kids have been playing basketball in the rain in the dark.
Okay,
so
with the flashlight.
I don't know. You know, I don't get having sports kids. Like I love it. I love that my kids are 10 times cooler than I've ever was, but I don't. Yeah. So I think normal parents, like normal, well-adjusted people who have kids,
do those exist?
When the kids like start to act cool, the parents are able to say, "You're not cool." But I can't do that. I'd be like, "Oh, this is." I told Bess, it's like living in the families of the kids who were cooler than me in school. Like, oh, this is how their house was like.
Right.
You know, this is what it's like to have two kids that are obsessed with sports and know all the right things to say. And in their house.
Are your kids like that?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wasn't like that either.
Yeah. I no.
Yeah.
No. My best friend was this dude right here. This freaking Commodore
When I was
64.
a kid, the monster that lived under my bed killed himself because he was tired of hearing me cry all night. So that's what my childhood was like.
No, I didn't really have a lot of friends until like it was like right at the end of high school. I had some really close friends all through.
Yeah.
But I didn't like come out of my shell until after high school.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what the hell is this kid? And then that's not weird.
Getting back in the shell,
being a shut-in for 18 years and then coming out. No, I wasn't scaring the shit out of people.
Solitary confinement. Yeah. You know, I wanted to mention, speaking of podcasts, today, and these guys need no plug, Dana Carvey and David Spade have a podcast. And I was reluctant to listen to it because as much as I like both of those guys, I assumed their podcast was going to be Dana doing George Bush and the church lady and David Spade going, "Yeah, that's really great, David."
And he's wearing a trucker hat.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a good podcast. Okay. They had Paul McCartney on, and I know you hate Paul McCartney.
I don't hate Paul McCartney.
They had him on.
It's Sir Paul McCartney. Have some respect.
You're right. And oh my God, they did their research and they did a very thorough, very good interview with him. Now, Paul's a good interview. Okay. He's been around.
He's probably had a few things to say about himself over the years.
But, you know, they talked about things that I hadn't heard Paul talk about. And then afterwards, after the interview was over with, they read viewer mail. And the guy said that he was, dear Dana and David, you guys did really good interviewing, and they were saying a lot of stuff that you and I would, have said on this podcast, how we spent so much time learning how to not step on each other and not to stumble around and fumble our words and all this stuff. And neither of them thought they were good at interviewing. Yeah. But they actually kind of sounded like us. Yeah. Because they're both comedians, they're both actors. They're both trained in doing all kinds of other things.
All these things that I am not.
Right.
Yeah.
But they delve into the world of podcasting.
Just start doing it.
Yeah. And so they're, honest to God, they were saying that you and I say.
That reminds me, next week we're supposed to talk to those people about podcasting. Is that next week?
That's right, on the 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's I said before, and I'll say it again, and I'll probably repeat it again because I run out of to say on this thing. But the biggest thing with this is just start doing it. I got that from, I have a book, Stephen King on writing, and he just keeps saying, just start, just sit down and start doing it.
Yeah.
And it will be the first things that you do will be
Yeah.
For an example, go back and listen to episode 1.
Are still our most popular episode.
But, yeah, and then I mean, we did have good story, like really cool stories, and I've thought about like what it would be like if we went back, because there's some really good stories that were wasted on our talents. It bothers me, the Robo Killer story.
Okay.
I think that's a good story, but my God, I'm stuttering my way through it, and I think at part of it,
you know what? Maybe we ought to
starts mooing. Like maybe we do like a remaster or a rework of these things.
Maybe we go back and we retell some of those stories.
Yeah, we may do that. Nobody listened to them.
No, I have said the same thing, that there are stories that I told that I wish I had told better. Yeah. But yeah, Dana and David have a very good podcast.
Okay.
It's called Fly on the Wall.
Okay.
And like I said, they don't need me to promote it because they're probably getting thousands and thousands of downloads. But it was good.
Yeah.
And I am going to, whenever I hear one that's pretty good, I am going to aspire to try and be better like their podcast. Yeah.
I want to say 2 things about music real quick.
Okay.
One is, we've talked about this before. We're going to start a new segment.
Yeah.
And the reason we haven't started it yet, typically longtime listeners will know.
We don't prepare.
That Darin and I, we don't prepare. We'll say, we're going to do a new segment that's this, and then 30 seconds later, we just start doing it.
Right.
This is different. We're going to actually try to prepare for this one. Mm-hmm. We're going to start doing Band of the Week, a segment. I don't know how long it's going to be, but we're going to do a deep dive into a group, and just it was very sparse on rules, but it's like got to be somebody that we've both listened to. We've talked about being somebody that we've seen in concert that we can actually talk about.
Yeah.
Because people seem to like it when we talk about bands and concerts and stuff, but we really want to like add some value and not have the whole thing just be like, and then he
they were ruled.
Yeah,
man.
they were on the edge of the
rules.
they walked to the edge of the stage, and then he said, and I was like, and it was awesome.
And it was like we had that moment together, man. Or like we're in the same room, dude. Righteous.
Yeah. And then I drank my contacts. Just we want to do them justice.
And then he autographed my shirt.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even the same band.
And then because I'll listen back to us talking about these things, I'm like, man, people don't even like the Megadeth. I enjoyed talking about the Megadeth thing. I didn't really say anything about their show, or their songs, or anything. I just talked about so we want to do these things right. So we're looking at what may be our first band that we do, and we've been talking about that. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to do that.
Yeah, look forward to that.
Yeah. And the other one is I want to plug Lemon Jelly.
Okay. I love Lemon Jello.
So Jelly. So they're a group. They're an electronic group, or whatever they call it now. Back in our day, they were called techno.
Techno, yeah.
Just techno was everything from whatever to whoever.
Kind of like now. Was it like Kraftwerk techno, or like was it like, because some people consider Devo techno, which I don't.
Some of their tunes you wouldn't classify as techno because they just sound like standard instruments, but like they have flutes and stuff in there. But then you'll detect it's like a loop. You're like, oh, this is a loop on a computer.
Oh, so it's
like
been looped, you say?
Yeah, so there's all kinds of weird stuff. And a lot of it is like background music and stuff that you would take a lot of drugs to really appreciate.
Okay.
But it's great.
I'm down.
It's one of those you can put on in the background when you're like working or doing a podcast or something, and you're supposed to be listening to what you're doing, but you're not.
I can't do anything while I'm doing the podcast.
I can't either. I can't even do the podcast. But I want to plug them because I don't think they do anything anymore. But the only reason that I found out about them was, you remember back in the day when in MP3s and ripping music was new? Yeah. Like when Napster was a thing? Yes. And what was the other one? LimeWire? And you would get on there and you'd be like, oh, here's Bon Jovi's new album, and you would download it, and it's like totally a Gwar album.
I remember this friend I used to
quality.
Dwight got me in touch with this Russian website where you could download music for free.
Yeah.
And then the IT guy had to come and That was on The Office. Sorry.
So, like right when Apple iTunes started, right when they were in their infancy, when the idea, Darin, of spending $1, what was it, $1 or $2 for a song, was insane.
Right.
I bought my first, and I think the only thing I've ever bought on iTunes was called 75, as in 1975 dash the Shouty track. Okay. And it's just this background music that is awesome. And it's pissed me off since, because Apple, I changed computers or whatever, and I'm too stupid to have it tied to my account. And I don't want it. Don't type in the comments, because I really don't care.
Yeah.
Don't tell me how to get it back. I don't care. I don't care.
All you gotta do
because I can go on Spotify right now and listen to like 15 versions of it. And so I'm good.
Right.
I'm good. But it still sticks in me that I technically own a copy of this song that I can't listen to.
Right.
And I went and looked back at them just a year or two ago, and they're awesome. So I just want to, it's a plug.
Okay.
I want to throw that out there. If you're having a bad day, they will put you in a good mood.
Okay.
All their album covers are like sunny and cartoony looking.
Wow. Holding hands
Hanna-Barbera
and
looking thing.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
This portion of our show is brought to you by Wordle Plus. Yes, America's favorite 5-letter word game that took the world by storm is now even better. Wordle Plus is 5 times more challenging, 5 times more exciting, and 5 times more exhausting than ever before. But remember, don't reveal the daily word to anybody, or you'll be dragged out on the front porch and beaten within an inch of your life. Wordle Plus, available wherever quality word games are sold. Now back to you, Buck and Dusty.
At the beginning of the show, I mentioned that there was a company that gets an A+ in customer service. That company is Target.
Okay.
Target
Target
gets an A+ for customer service. I'm going to tell you what. My youngest son, Cameron, has a bicycle, and he has a job, and you're against him having this job. He goes to 2 houses in our neighborhood and picks up dog poop out of their yard.
I'm not against him having this job.
Right.
I'm against how the Durbans are exploiting him.
They're not exploiting him. If they were exploiting him, he would be picking up poop out of the yard, and they wouldn't be paying him.
Okay, I don't know what that word means then, but they're
it's penultimate.
They're penultimately negatively affecting his cash flow. They're doing a job that he could do.
You're doing the same thing.
Well, how?
How you're not hiring? You have 2 dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. On Tuesday or Wednesday night when we do the podcast, I could bring Cameron with me.
Yeah.
He could pick poop up out of the yard while we record the podcast, and you could pay him.
It's dark.
He has a flashlight.
Coyotes and bandits out there.
Well, you know what? In the summertime, it doesn't get dark until 9:30.
Yeah, but then what does he do for the rest of the other hour or 2 hours that he's here? Does he become part of the podcast?
He could walk home. I don't know. That's not my responsibility.
It just seems like
that's his mom's job.
It just seems like the Durbans practically live in your house.
You can see their house from our backyard. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, my point is, he was going over to Miss Jamie's house. Okay. Jamie is a lady in our neighborhood.
Is Jamie her first name or last name?
It's her first name.
Okay, so that's you do that thing. Okay,
Miss Jamie.
Okay,
and then there's Mr. Chris, who's Chris Michael, who lives right next door.
Not Mr. Michael. Mr. Chris.
Mr. Chris.
Okay.
Mr. Chris and Miss Jamie. He's going to go over to Miss Jamie's house. He's going to ride his bike, but he said my back brake is on my bike, and I can't get it to work.
Okay.
No, he told me his bike doesn't work. I said, what do you mean it doesn't work? He says, it won't run. I can't. The brake is on.
Yeah.
And my dumb ass is like, well, let off the brake. But so I went out and looked, and sure as shit, the brake would not come on or come off. Yeah. So I don't know what to do with it. And my neighbor
just cut the brakes.
Yeah. My neighbor, David Goldberg, he has 3 garages. Okay. He's got his double garage for his vehicles. And then he's got a separate garage because he's a gearhead. And he can fix anything. He has every tool known to man and an air compressor, which is badass. Yeah. I know. Just go over there and just have him fill your tires. It's fun.
Yeah.
So he said, I'm talking to him. He says, bring it over.
Okay.
And I go and he's looking at it and he starts shaking his head. He's like, Jesus, the cable that runs underneath the bike that goes to the brakes had snapped and got wrapped into the chain, into the chainy whip-de whirl thingy.
It's the technical. You're getting a little technical for.
I'm sorry.
This seems like that would kill somebody. Like, how does he ride it?
He didn't. He couldn't.
Oh, so he couldn't physically move. Oh,
and
okay.
so he's like, well, here's your problem. This line here.
Wait, you didn't see that? You had to take it over to him to see that the thing was.
He didn't instantly see it either.
Okay, all right.
So we're examining it, and
I digress.
Yeah. And he looks and he says, okay, this isn't supposed to be here. Then he's looking at the bottom of the bike and notices that the part that holds the line where it's supposed to hold isn't there. So that's a malfunction with the bike. And then he said, this other part of the bike was in the handle, the front part was all wobbly, wasn't put on properly. And then there's a part that's bent. He says, this bike is crap.
Okay.
He says, if I were you, I'd take it back to Target.
All right.
And I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. Here's the thing.
So he's saying it was a problem with the quality of the bike.
The quality of the bike and how it was put together.
Okay.
He thought that it wasn't assembled. It may not have been assembled correctly.
Okay.
I was like, well, great. Because we don't have the receipt for the bike anymore. It was bought in May.
Yeah.
All right. So I know that I've already ran past my 90 days if they said that. And I also know that, I don't have the receipt for it. I take the bike to Target. I go in. The first lady I see could not have possibly been nicer.
Right.
She's listening to the problems. She brings the manager. The manager could not have been nicer.
This is the Target right over here.
No, it's another one.
Okay.
It's another one on the other side of town where we bought it.
Voice of America.
No, the other side of town, Mike. Voice of America's on our side of town.
None of this matters.
Okay,
for
it doesn't.
People listening,
it doesn't. That's why you need to shut. That's why you need to shut it.
You can edit that.
Just hush.
Yeah.
He couldn't have been nicer about it. And he said, what we can do, because I'm thinking they're going to tell me that I can't do anything because I don't have a receipt and I don't have, and it was like in months ago.
Yeah.
He says, we can assemble a new one and have you another one in a couple of weeks, but we need to, find out, do you have the credit card? I said, yeah, I got the credit card.
Oh.
Okay. So the first lady, super nice. She looks at the bike, goes on Target's website, goes through all the things, and finds out the make and the brand. And she gets the UPC code and all that stuff
Just
for
like
the bike.
an episode of CSI.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so they scan my card. The card is not coming up on the thing.
Oh,
okay. And then they tried again, and she says, "Did your wife buy it with her Target card?" I said, "I don't think so." They're like, well, if she can go on, does she have the Target app? I'm like, yes.
Who doesn't have the Target
exactly.
app?
So she says if she goes to the Target app and looks in this thing, she can go to what's called Wallet, and it'll show you the code, the thing, the barcode thingy.
Yeah.
If she can send you a screen grab of that, then we can scan that. Well, you can't do a screen grab of that because of security reasons. It won't let you do that. So that if somebody steals tries to whatever. I end up driving home, getting all of Libby's credit cards, and I go back.
Okay.
When I go back, who is there but the lady who was there when I bought the bike to begin with?
Whoa.
And she's, and I'm going through the whole segment all over again. This is what happened. And I said, wait a minute. I remember you. You were here when I bought the bike because remember you had called 2 or 3 times and I kept calling back and there was a problem with the Target phone line. She goes, yeah, I remember you.
Oh.
And she says, and she scans a thing. Beep, 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 beep. Here you go.
Wow.
Money back.
Wow.
Money back.
Wow.
I thought that they were going to, give me another bike.
Yeah.
But so she gave me my money back. No question.
Wow.
Thank you, Target.
Yeah. Did you get to keep the bike?
No. I returned that.
Okay.
And they're going to, return it as a defective product. I mean, they may repair it and, I don't know. But, I mean, how cool was that?
That's pretty cool.
They could have easily told me, you don't have a receipt.
Yeah.
We can't do anything about it.
That's how Target used to be.
Right. But
back in the day. If you wanted to take something back without a receipt, you took it to Walmart. They don't care.
It can be covered in blood. This gallon of milk, it's completely empty.
Yeah. There weren't no milk in this.
No milk in this jug. So now I mentioned, there's another company, and at the beginning of the show, I said they would get an F on customer service, and I'm thinking about that. They would not get an F. Libby and I, our oldest son, Jacob, is getting ready to go to college, and he's applying and everything. We're applying for financial aid. Okay, to see if he can qualify and get some financial aid.
Yeah.
Oh, my dear Lord in heaven above. You have to do the forms you have to fill out. Libby has been working on the forms for like a good week, and they couldn't process her forms because I also need to process forms, and Jacob has to process some forms.
Does Cameron need to fill anything out?
No, Cameron's good.
Figgy?
Cameron's Figgy. Well, I don't know. I don't know about Figgy. So Libby said, tell you what, and she was on there and she was trying to fill out my stuff for me because she was doing it all and trying to get all done at once. They wouldn't let her do my stuff. So I'm going in there and I'm trying to fill out the forms. It wouldn't accept my social security number. It would not accept my email address.
Yeah.
And it would not accept one other thing. So it's like, it doesn't make any sense. And no matter how many times I tried, it's like, this is my number. This is my address. This is my email, all this stuff.
Yeah.
I call, and honest to God, I was on hold for 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Holy Lord.
Your call is very important. Please hold. We'll be back with you as soon as possible, or whatever.
Wow.
1 hour, Mike.
And you're calling...
in 45 minutes.
Was it...
Yeah.
South America or whatever it is.
Yeah, in South... That's the problem. We're in North America. Oh, my God. I'm not going to mention their name on the... So stop singing.
I just had nightmares. Because I remember when I was, I had to get financial aid for me, and then I think my dad had to apply for some.
Right.
And we had like those combined plus money. It was,
But this is like where it comes in, the problem. So there have been so many times where I have called, whether it's for a doctor appointment, whether it's for, I remember when I was trying to get through to my dermatologist, or I never have any trouble trying to talk to my dentist. Mm-hmm. But they always say...
It's because nobody wants to talk to the dentist.
No, after you hear that message 2 or 3 times, something comes on and says, if you'd like to save your place in line, press 2 and someone will call you right back. Okay, thanks. All right, And then that's what you do. And then they call you back. This was not an option.
Okay.
So I had to have it on hold for 1 hour and 45 minutes. Phone is charged so that it doesn't die.
Yeah.
And I finally get through, and honestly, the guy could not have been nicer. Okay.
Yeah.
And he didn't know why it wouldn't take my social security number because, and then I was starting to be concerned. Maybe somebody stole my social. Maybe someone has applied for financial aid with my social. There was no other thing coming up with my social. So that didn't happen. Wasn't sure why. All he could say was perhaps glitch in the system. It's been overblown with people, but we went back. We started from the very start. We did this. It didn't work.
Okay.
Had to go back again from the very start. I was on the phone with him for 35 minutes.
Oh my God.
So on hold for an hour 45, and then on the phone with him for 35.
Yeah.
And we finally got it.
Wow.
But it's like, come on, man. You've got to give people the option, because I was about to go out of my mind. Just stop, man. Call people back.
Yeah.
If you can't answer the damn phone, then call them back.
Yeah. I was on hold one time, and I Shazammed the music that they played, and it's music that you can go to Spotify and you can put it on a playlist.
You Shazammed
so I have
them.
waiting room. Yeah.
Okay.
And now it's time for Dave's Comedy Corner. I want to go to Mars just to see if my universal remote really works. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. This has been Dave's Comedy Corner, brought to you this week by Otis Elevators, Trim Fingernail Clippers, and International Delight Almond Joy Flavored Coffee Creamer. Get out your credit card and help these fine companies give Christmas bonuses to their employees. Now back to you, Buck and Dusty.
Waka, waka, waka.
Irritable Dad Syndrome has our own Facebook page.
Yeah.
They've changed Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
They've changed Facebook. So if you have multiple, like I have my personal Facebook page.
Okay.
And then I am a administrator on the Irritable Dad Syndrome Facebook page.
Okay, so you're going through the same that I...
It's
Okay,
like-
I
it's
thought
like-
it was just me.
No. It pops up and I'm like, why is, because Channel 12, a Cincinnati TV station who used to be our main competitor when I worked for Channel 5, keeps popping up, and I don't follow Channel 12, and I don't know why Channel 12 keeps popping
To
up.
hell with Channel 12.
Well, I know, but Irritable Dad Syndrome apparently follows Channel 12 on Facebook,
Okay.
and I don't know why.
I don't either.
Anywho, I get on there and I'm like, what the hell is Channel 12 doing on here? And they have a story, way to keep it local, that they've built or they're building a statue for Cheeto dust.
Yeah.
And it's a hand.
Yeah.
It's like a silver hand holding a Cheeto up in the air, and there's dust all over the fingers. And I'm like, can't the money be spent better?
This just seems like something that me and my buddies would have come up with in college as a fun thing to do. Like, wouldn't it be awesome if they did this? And now somebody's actually doing it. And it's like, it turns out it's not really that awesome.
It is in somewhere, a place is called Cheeto, Alberta.
Okay, of course.
Way to go, Canada.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
The statue makes you feel like you need to wash your hands.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just...
looking at the statue, it erect looks like
if you crop that, I like the way Facebook, like I post these things all over social media.
Looks like a hand holding an orange penis.
Yeah, the way it cropped it looked like we were talking about orange on the show, which we're not. No, yeah. I mean, you eat your Cheetos however you want, but if you end up with a problem like that, you're on your own.
Reminds me of two things. One, on did you watch She-Hulk yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
We can't get past episode 2.
How many episodes are there?
I don't know.
I'm still trying to slog through Dahmer. I can't.
The thing with She-Hulk is, I'm like, I feel like I have to watch it because one of the characters, something's going to pop up in one of the films.
Yeah, I heard. Didn't Daredevil show up in there?
I think so.
And it's like, damn it!
But one of the guys in She-Hulk eats Cheetos with chopsticks, and then you don't get the dust all over your fingers. That's pretty brilliant.
Okay,
but this statue,
I think Marvel has jumped the shark at this point. I think they may have.
They have. The statue reminds me of that episode of Family Guy where the town spent all their annual budget on a statue of Diggum.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
There's Adam West as the mayor.
Yeah.
We're thrilled to unveil the statue of Diggum.